Hey guys, it's Dave from DD Drums. Welcome to this drum lesson on how to play Machine Gun Kelly's I Think I'm Okay on drums. Now, this is a really awesome song. In fact, I only heard it about 3 months ago. You know, one of the things that really impressed me the most was the fact that Travis Barker actually plays drums on the track. And then when I first heard the track of I Think I'm Okay, I didn't know he was on the drums. All I knew was that the drums sounded really great, and I wanted to learn them. And then I started to discover that it was actually Travis Barker. No wonder I liked the song. Let's get into it. Now, this song is 120 BPM. If you want to get the sheet music, you can. It's got like 3 pages of drum parts. By the way, we didn't cover all those drum parts in today's lesson, so strap yourself in. Now, the verse, if you're going to play it on the actual drums, I'm going to say play it either on the ride or the hi-hat. Today I'm going to play it on the ride cymbal so you can hear what it sounds there. But it's a bit of a half-time kind of feel. Here's how the verse sounds. Yeah, so the whole verse is like an 8-bar section, okay? And like I said, you play on the ride or the hi-hat would be okay too. Now, notice the first 2 bars. I mean, if you get those 2 bars down, the whole thing kind of repeats those 2 bars pretty much, okay? All right, let's have a look at the pre-chorus. Now, the pre-chorus is played on the floor tom, okay? And you're also going to use a bit of the tom 1 and a snare. Okay, the bass drum is playing the 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is like an 8-bar section as well. Okay, here's the pre-chorus. Okay, so that part is really interesting because the floor tom is playing the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 hand. Add the bass drum on the 1, 2, 3, 4. And the left hand is playing some notes on the first tom and some notes on the snare. Check it out, this is the first line. The first 4 bars is pretty much like the beat, but then the next 4 bars is the build-up, okay? So if you look at what the left hand's doing in that section, it's going 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4. So left hand's doing a lot of kind of work there. Makes the beat very different. Very cool beat. All right, let's look at the next section, which is the chorus. Now, the chorus is really where the drums start to free up and open up, and they're playing like a swishy 8-note pattern on the hi-hat. Pretty basic. Here's how the chorus sounds. So with the chorus, probably the main thing to make it easier would be just focus on the first line, those 2 bars. If you get those 2 bars right, then the rest of it all kind of makes sense, all right? So here's those 2 bars, just the first 2 bars. That's all it is. Now, yes, there's 2 little crash cymbals on the 4th bar with a little double hit. That's pretty cool, that part. And then the 8th bar, the last bar, is just a rest. So you're kind of pausing, all right? So once again, here's the whole chorus. Here's how it sounds. So one thing I do is in that 8th bar, keep time, because it's a rest for 8 beats, so you can kind of just tap your foot. Or just, you know, if you were going to click the sticks, you could, but I usually just to keep time, just tap the left foot like that. So let's look at 3 of the important fills in the song. The first fill is the end of the bridge, okay? So there's the build-up that happens, and then it pauses, and there's a little fill. Here's how that fill sounds. So all you're doing there is you're playing the 1, but then there's this rest part where you get to count. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. As you can see, I'm keeping time with the left foot. If that's too much of a challenge, don't worry about it. But still try and count. 1, 2, 3. And just like 2 hits on the snare, 2 hits on the tom 1, 2 hits on the floor tom. That's all it is. Okay, now the final chorus, fill number 1, sounds like this. Now, one thing I want to mention in this song is that the hi-hats are playing like a pattern where you're accenting the 1, 2, 3, 4, and the ands are kind of pretty light, like this. Another thing to keep in mind is that the hi-hats are pretty swishy, like they're never tight, only maybe in the verses. But the rest, especially the choruses, they're always very open and swishy. All right, let's go to the next fill, which is final chorus fill number 2. Okay, this is the last fill we're going to go through. It sounds like this. All right, the very last section we look at is the outro. And the outro is 8 bars long, okay? We're going to use the ride cymbal mostly, but we're not going to use the tip. We're going to use the shoulder of the stick, okay? And that's going to play the edge of the cymbal like this. Or you could use a crash cymbal. That would be okay, all right? Here's how the outro sounds. All right, so you can see that the main idea, we're not playing that same pattern on the hi-hat. It's more of a, you're playing consistent accents, I guess you could say, on the ride. And there you go, guys. There's all the parts for I Think I'm Okay by Machine Gun Kelly on drums, with the amazing Travis Barker playing the drum part. All right, so I definitely recommend getting the sheet music. You can get that from the description section down below. Like the lesson if you got some value from it, guys. I really appreciate it. I really do. I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world, and I look forward to seeing you on the next lesson. Take care.